Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Red Dead Online and we're going to be ranking all of the legendary bounties by how fun they are. So my core recommendation is just to complete every single bounty at least once up to level 5, so that's going to be 5 times through on each bounty. And considering there's 13 of them, that's quite a few missions to do. The reason I suggest this is because A, they reward pretty decent, they've got good XP payouts, all that sort of stuff, but mostly also just because, you know, that way you have an idea which ones you're going to like the most. Because in my opinion, the legendary bounties are some of the most fun and replayable missions in the game. So that's why I tell everyone to play them all. But with all that in mind, I do have a ranking for which ones I think are the most fun. So let's just dive on in and get started with the ranking. So starting us off at number 13, we have the Wolf Man, and it says seen near Lake Isabella. His baptismal name is unknown at this time, but he is wanted for a string of murders. He has for many years lived with a pack of wolves and is considered extremely dangerous. Carrying predator bait is advised. Rewards paid in full on return. Now, I actually really don't like this mission. When I finally got it to 5 stars, I was like, I'm never playing that one again. It's not because it's ridiculously hard either, because it's really not. If you're smart and you know how to take care of wolves especially, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not enjoyable. You gotta go way up to the mountains and you gotta find this guy in the snow, and usually you gotta track him. What I usually do is just ride around to all the spots that he usually shows up, and just once you find him, start trying to capture him, because the whole tracking process is very annoying and tedious in this game. And I usually just keep my bow loaded up with dynamite arrows, so every time a pack of wolves attacks me, I can take out the entire pack at once, or at least several of them, and I just bola him and hogtie him as quick as possible. So that's the way I defeat it. I don't enjoy this mission. It's lame. After you get him, you have to ride him all the way back to the prison wagon through the snowy mountains, which is never fun. So honestly, like I said, don't enjoy this mission. It takes the number 13 spot. At number 12, we have Philip Carlier, and it says he's wanted for embezzlement and murder. I like how they put embezzlement first and underlined it, like that was more serious than murder. It says believed to live alone in the swamps of LaGras for the last 2 years after the murder of a fellow employee at the Lemoyne Training Company. Spotted dressed in shabby clothing and reported to be mentally unstable due to isolation. So this is another one that I just don't enjoy. This one, like right when you first show up, he'll drug you and then you hallucinate and you gotta kill these hallucinations that are attacking you, and if you miss one, it kills you, but if you kill it, it's nothing. So it's just got a stupid plot from the start. I never like it when games put you on a drug trip. That's what kind of killed the Far Cry games for me, is because they really depend on that too much. But I don't enjoy that aspect of this mission. I don't find this one particularly difficult, because it's not like the hallucinations come at you all that fast, and if you're ready with a pistol or something, you can very easily take care of them. But it's just not an enjoyable mission. That's why the Philip Carlier mission takes the number 12 spot. So with number 11, we start getting into the ones that I don't love, but I also don't hate, because really those first two are the only ones that I just never play again because I dislike them that much. And at number 11, we have Tobin Winfield, and it said he is sought for larceny and misappropriation of public funds. While entrusted as mayor, he embezzled public monies for a number of years. Reward pay for captures of Winfield dead or alive, and return of stolen goods and monies, cited in Thieves Landing. So this one is kind of fun because you're going after a politician, which is always a fun thing to do. You basically, the bounty himself is not going to be the violent aspect in this one, so it is a bit more unique than the other ones. You go there, you find him, he starts whining about how he didn't want to do it and they were making him do it and he's in danger and all that sort of stuff. So you have to protect him while he goes to get the evidence that you need to bring in. So basically, this one can be difficult if you're not quick enough at shooting the people, because they will be trying to kill him primarily. They'll shoot at you as well, but they want to kill him and he does not have much health. So if you're not quick, he'll die, and it's kind of annoying in that regard, but I've never had much trouble with it. So this one is not particularly hard. It's okay, I guess, but it's just not a very interesting one. It's pretty quick if you are decent at shooting NPCs, so it doesn't really have much of a... doesn't hold you in quite so long. So like I said, this one's okay, but it's not very good, so it takes the number 11 spot. Next up at number 10, we have Etta Doyle and her gang. So it says they're wanted for train and coach robbery. She is 40 years of age and dresses in men's clothing. She's the leader of a gang of women known for terrorizing trains and coaches. She's seen in the proximity of Saint Denis, identified by a scar on her right cheek obtained during a knife fight. So this one is where we start getting into the ones that can be decently fun. So this one's one where observation's important, because she shows up with, I think, 3 or 4 other people. They're all dressed very similarly and they all have masks on, and you need to catch the right one, and you can't kill any of them, because if you do, you'll fail the mission. So basically the cheat spam way that me and my brother in my posse decided to do this one that works basically really quickly is just stand ready behind the doors with your lasso, and as soon as they all come through, just quickly lasso all of them, because you don't have to hogtie them and unmask them to find out who's the right one. All you got to do is touch them with the lasso and it shows whether it's the right or wrong one. So it's just a really quick, easy way to do it. So even on 5-star difficulty, that's a very easy way to beat this one. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of enemies and they're going to be very aggressive on 5-star difficulty, so if you're not quick while you're hog tying her, you might get shot and killed and then have to restart the mission. The regular way to do this one is just wait and she will reveal herself and then you can hog tie her. Honestly, this one's decently fun. I put it kind of low because I've done it so many times that it's kind of spammy now, because this is the one that most people use to just quickly get gold and money, because they'll just quickly hog tie her and bring her over to the police department in Sanity and then just wait until the timer runs out and then they'll turn her in. I find it a little boring, so that's why it takes the number 10 spot. So at the number 9 spot, we have the Shepherd, or Virgil Edwards, and it says he's wanted dead or alive, and he's the leader of the sacrilegious cult of the 7th generation. He's wanted in connection with a series of murders. He prophesies the mercy of cleansing sin, which authorities believe will take the form of mass killing. His inner circle, their foreheads branded with the inverted 7, are feverishly devout and heavily armed. So this one's kind of fun because it's like an armed cult sort of thing. The reason I ranked it pretty low is because it's another one of these ones where he doesn't have a known location. You have to kind of sniff him out. So you go to the first camp, take out some bad guys, get a clue, go to the second camp, take out some bad guys, get a clue, go to the third camp, take out some bad guys and get a clue, and then you go to his location. I don't like that. I would much rather just have one location where they are. If they're a very well-known religious cult with all these guns and everything, you'd think that the intelligence would be a little bit more accurate and you could just go straight to the place. It does have some fun gunfighting, and there's some knife enemies that you got to watch out for, and it's got aspects that make me kind of like it, which is why it's, ranked a little bit higher than the previous ones. But like I said, I don't like the runaround, so that's why it ranks as low as it does. So that's number 9. At number 8, we have Barbarella Alcazar. She is 32 years of age and former wife of bloody murderer Ricardo Alcazar, wanted for thievery, extortion, and murder, known to travel with a gang of dangerous men, seen in the vicinity of Gaptooth Ridge. Now, for this one is a decently large gunfight. She is at the location you have to find. The only problems I have with this one are mostly, well, one of them is that once you start getting into the higher star ratings for it, like several of these bounties, you no longer just have to bring in her, you have to bring in her accomplices. So you either have to have a posse, or you have to bring them in one at a time, or you have to have your bounty wagon. And that's what brings up the second thing I don't like about this one, is that the Gaptooth Ridge area there, that mine, is not accessible with the bounty wagon. Like, you can't call it in and have it spawn there. You have to actually drive it into the area. So that's really, really annoying. And it's also kind of hard to get it between levels there. So you're going to be carrying bodies around, and I find that kind of boring. That's really the biggest thing. Other than that, the gunfighting and all that sort of stuff is fun because Gaptooth Ridge is kind of a fun area to fight enemies in, and this mission has quite a few enemies. Next up at number 7, we have Ben Clemson. And now this one I like, and I would like it more if, again, like the last one, it didn't add more enemies that you have to actually bring in to end the bounty. Because this one takes place on a train. And so basically what you have to do with this one, it starts with an interrogation. You interrogate one of his former members who will tell you his location, all that sort of stuff. So that's a fun way to get into the mission. Like I said, what I dislike about it is as you go up in the difficulty, you have to bring more and more people in, and that can be difficult because it's on a train. I really dislike any time where it makes me use a bounty wagon on these legendary bounties, because Ben Clemson is the legendary guy. Why should I have to bring his accomplices? But that takes the number 7 spot. At number 6, we're starting to get into the ones that I actually really like and play quite a bit, and we have the Hoot family. So this one says, this notorious gang of desperados are wanted for multiple murders and barbarism, including cruelty to animals. They're wanted dead or alive. Reward will be paid in full for captive or death of members of this bloody gang of women and men who have terrorized travelers at Benedict Pass. This one, from the beginning, starts out with multiple targets, but you don't have to use a bounty wagon, which is why I like this one. You capture each one at a time and bring them to the bounty wagon and then go to the next area, because they're not all in the same area. They're spread out over several sections. I like this one. I like that it deals with the multiple targets thing, makes them all legendary and all unique, but it doesn't make you use a bounty wagon. Let's move on to number 5. At number 5, we have the one that I've perhaps played the most, or probably second most out of all these missions, and that's Finley. It says, chief among a credulous posse of mercenaries sought for orchestrating bank robberies across the South, this garish upstart is often seen sporting an extravagant tailored suit. He and his heavily armed band are said to occupy a dilapidated colonial property in Bayou Noir. Some of them are captives, including some predatory species. So this one is fun. It's super over the top. You have to go down to this super heavily fortified place, which is Shady Belle. If you played the campaign, you know exactly where that is. They've got explosives, they've got multiple snipers, they've got tons of troops, they've got several Maxim guns. It's very well fortified. It's a fun mission, fun to replay. It's really fun to bring this guy to justice because he's kind of a cowardly idiot who just really likes his image. So it's got a lot of aspects to it that I really enjoy. Plus, if you like a giant firefight, this is definitely a good mission for that. So next up at number 4, we're going to be carrying that same trend from the last one with Carmela La Muñeca Montez. It says, blood relative of the notorious Del Lobo gang members believed to be current gang boss, responsible for a spate of bloody highway robberies, described as smooth-skinned and comely, considered extremely dangerous. Del Lobo's gang last seen heading east from New Austin in an armored war wagon. known to shoot on sight, marshals urge caution. This one is another one like the last one. Just a ton of people shooting. The only difference is there's not a lot of really good cover in this one, so it can be difficult. I've done it with a posse of 2 other people where we died 5 or 6 times before finally completing it. Definitely a fun mission to play, but also a pretty difficult one. So that one takes the number 4 spot. At number 3, we have Yukon Nick, and it says Yukon Nikolai Borodin, 50. He is a Russian trapper and hunter, having spent time in Alaska Territory where he has multiple warrants. Last seen near Fort Riggs, sought for the known murder of several men, suspected in the disappearance of a brave U.S. Marshal sent to apprehend him. Highly territorial and dangerous, believed to keep a grizzly captive. He does keep 2 grizzly bears caged up in his fort, and he has a ton of guys there fighting for him. Like a lot of the other missions, this one doesn't have great cover, so in the great big gunfight, unless you're very mobile and a good shot, it's super easy to get gunned down fast in this one. I definitely enjoy this one. I replay it pretty frequently, and there are multiple ways to do it, so that's all good reasons to play Yukon. So at the second best spot, we have Sergio Vincenza, wanted for terrorism, attempted assassination, and promotion of anarchy. He is a former military sharpshooter, approached with extreme caution. Currently on the run after a foiled plot to blow up the state house and kill the governor. Rumored to be near Roanoke Ridge. So this one is fun for multiple reasons. For one thing, he's obviously a high-profile target, so it makes you feel like you're actually an important bounty hunter, not just bringing in people wanted for, robbing trains. This guy is a legitimate high-level terrorist running a paramilitary group, and he's got all these people trained with military stuff. He himself, I believe, is a military-trained sniper, so it definitely has a feel of stakes, and it can be difficult. Like a lot of these other ones, once you get up to the 5-star difficulty, I think you have to bring in 3 people, so again, you either have to use the bounty wagon or bring them in one at a time, and if you want to do that, you're going to have to kill them or they will escape. The only good thing about this is you can call the bounty wagon in right to the camp where him and his accomplices are going to be, so it's not that hard. So Sergio Vincenza takes the number 2 spot. Then at number 1, we have by far the one I've played the most, Cecil C. Tucker. Known arsonist and murderer of women and children while in their beds. Here is the only known picture of Cecil C. Tucker, 20 years of age. Armed and has been known to shoot to evade capture. So basically this guy burnt down, I believe, an orphanage at night and killed a bunch of women and children. Basically everybody hates him. He's a coward. He's hired or tricked the Lemoyne Raiders into protecting him. So this is a fun mission where you get to kill a bunch of Lemoyne Raiders. Waves upon waves of Lemoyne Raiders to fight you. It's challenging. There's a lot of combat, and the storyline's fun because it's always fun to bring in someone whose crime is as gross as this one. I can't imagine something worse, I guess, than burning a bunch of women and children in their sleep. That's why the Cecil C. Tucker takes the number 1 spot on my list for legendary bounties. So that's where we're going to end today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, definitely leave a like rating to show me and YouTube and everyone else on the YouTube that it's a good video, well worth watching and recommending to others. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or most importantly, any requests for any videos you'd like to see me do in the future, definitely leave those down in the comment section below. I will take a look at all of them. I always read all my comments, even if I don't respond to all of them. With all that in mind, if you haven't already and you enjoy my content, I definitely invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you can help me reach my subscriber goal, and more importantly, you'll be able to stay up to date and watch my videos that I release daily. And if you like this video, there's a really good chance you're going to like the rest of them because my content is pretty dang consistent in that regard. So with all that in mind, thanks for watching and have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.